Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a look outside our weather window. And once again, another unseasonably warm early fall day here across north central Washington. Today we look down from one of our favorite cameras. It's the cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights, our Sky-Fi tower camera. And you can see clouds been moving in. We did have some clouds today. Temperatures still, though, well above normal today, but changes are on the way as we get into tonight. In fact, tonight we'll see about a 70% chance of rain around midnight and after, and then widespread rain tomorrow morning, turning to hit and miss showers in the afternoon and tomorrow night. It could be windy across portions of north central Washington, too. I think mainly that'll be over around Moses Lake. And here's some preliminary rainfall possibility for totals. And as you can see, Wenatchee, we're about a 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch. In fact, most of us on that map, about a 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch. But I'll tell you what, if you're traveling west into the Cascades, we could see 2 to 3 inches of rain. And we'll talk more about this storm system coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A former youth soccer coach for Eastmont High School is charged with child rape for an alleged sexual relationship with one of his student players. The Grant County Sheriff's Office is investigating after a 39-year-old Soap Lake man's body was found in a canal near Ephrata yesterday afternoon. And a Yakima man faces charges of attempted rape and assault after allegedly attacking a bus driver in Ellensburg Wednesday night. But first, we begin tonight a sad update on a story we brought you last night. A Moses Lake man is dead and a woman is hospitalized after they were attacked by their own dog yesterday morning. Kyle Foreman of the Grant County Sheriff's Office gives us the details.
I'm Kyle Foreman with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. This is an update on the incident which happened at the Harvest Manor Mobile Home Park about 11:20 this morning. That incident involved an animal attack, which involved a dog, which we now know was either a pit bull or a pit bull mix. The details of what happened and what caused the dog to get worked up are still under investigation. Detectives still have to interview the female witness, the female victim of this incident. I do have some sad news to report that the male who was involved in this incident has died from his injuries caused by the dog. The dog is now at a local veterinarian being treated for injuries that dog suffered during the attack. So the female is at Samaritan Hospital in Moses Lake. She's being treated for her injuries. Detectives have yet to speak with her and get a statement about what happened, so we have a better idea of what led to this attack today. Again, sadly, the male who was injured during the attack has passed away from his injuries. This is Kyle Foreman with the Grant County Sheriff's Office.
A former youth soccer coach for Eastmont High School is charged with child rape for an alleged sexual relationship with one of his student players. Douglas County prosecutors on Thursday filed 4 counts against Christian Barboza of Wenatchee, alleging he had a sexual relationship with a student he coached at Eastmont between 2005 and 2007. Barboza, who's now 38 years old, coached at the high school for 5 years during that period. The alleged victim came forward last year. Douglas County Sheriff detectives say they arranged last week for the victim to exchange text messages with Barboza, in which time he admitted to sexual conduct with the student when she was 14 years old. Deputies arrested Barboza on Tuesday. He was released yesterday on $7,500 bond and faces arraignment later this month. Well, the Grant County Sheriff's Office is investigating after a 39-year-old Soap Lake man's body was found in a canal near Ephrata yesterday afternoon. The body of Benjamin Buckles was found in a canal along Road J Northwest, just west of State Highway 28. Kyle Foreman of the Sheriff's Office said Friday that they have not established how Buckles died. A Yakima man faces charges of attempted rape and assault after allegedly attacking a bus driver in Ellensburg on Wednesday night. Ellensburg police said Ronnie Lee Myers was the only passenger when the female driver stopped the Central Transit bus. That was about 7:05 p.m. in the 900 block of West 5th Avenue. Police say a passerby saw Myers attacking the driver and honked her horn to distract the man. The driver was then able to flee the bus and was driven safely by the passerby. Officers found Myers still inside the bus. The Ellensburg Police Department said it wants to, quote, thank the witness for her courageous efforts in intervening and stopping the assault, unquote. Well, coming up next, the Chelan Douglas Health District reports an additional death from COVID-19. The latest numbers of COVID cases in our area saw an increase in cases per 100,000 over the last week. Lake Chelan's fire district is being audited because of breathing equipment it purchased through a FEMA grant. And if the first weekend of October was any indication, getting out to see the leaves changing colors is going to be widely popular this year. We'll show you. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
Welcome back. In another news, Chelan Douglas Health District reports an additional death now from COVID-19. This brings the total number of deaths in Chelan County to 18 and 7 in Douglas County. The Chelan County resident was a female in her 50s. The health district's total COVID-19 deaths is now 25. Well, the latest numbers of COVID-19 cases in our area saw an increase in cases per 100,000 in the last week. The Chelan Douglas Health District reported yesterday that in the weekly count that ended Wednesday, the count went from 114 cases of COVID-19 per 100,000 to 136 cases per 100,000. That somewhat offsets the gains from 2 weeks ago when our area had 162 cases of COVID per 100,000. That rate is important because until the Wenatchee Valley reaches 25 cases per 100,000, important sectors of the economy like businesses and schools won't be deemed safe to reopen for large public gatherings. Lake Chelan Fire District should have kept better track of breathing equipment it purchased through a FEMA grant. That's the finding of a recent state audit, which says Chelan Fire and Rescue bought 97 sets of self-contained breathing apparatus for itself and its partner agencies out of an $800,000 federal grant in 2019. The auditor says the district failed to meet federal record-keeping requirements to track the equipment after it was bought and distributed. Chelan Fire and Rescue says it's adopted new procedures and inventory control measures to prevent such problems in the future. Well, if the first weekend of October was any indication, getting out to see the leaves changing colors is going to be widely popular this year. Maybe too popular, the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest says. This was especially true on the North Cascades Scenic Highway, where a Forest Service count last weekend showed more than 1,500 people at the Rainy Pass picnic area and 732 vehicles at the Pacific Crest Trail North Trailhead. The Forest Service says parking will be extremely difficult at all its trailheads, and not parking in designated areas will get you a ticket. Also, visitors should not be walking on the highway or roads, and drivers should be extra alert for pedestrians. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Pybus Public Market's motto is where community meets. Whether it's people, enjoying an event, or they meet a colleague for coffee and whip out their laptop and are able to actually do work here, having quick and reliable Wi-Fi is one of the things that makes Pybus such a great community hub. It just contributes to the welcoming place that we want Pybus to be. I'm Allie, and fiber keeps people connected, and that's what Pybus Market is all about.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Young people are likely to be a driving force in next month's elections, and right here in North Central Washington, they're taking the lead and asking tough questions of their candidates. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins caught up with the organizers of NCW Young Voters. That's a group that's using social media to bring local political debate straight to your iPhone.
It's been a year of civil action for local young people, from climate marches to Black Lives Matter. With a sense of urgency about this year's presidential election and what it could mean for their futures, a group of young activists around Leavenworth formed North Central Washington Young Voters in early August.
I'm Aiden Ringel. I'm 18 and I'm from Leavenworth. I'm a senior at Cascade High School.
I'm Stephanie Jordan. I'm 22 and I'm from Leavenworth.
I'm DeAndre Vasquez. I am 19. I'm also from Leavenworth and a full-time enrolled student at WSU. And
soon enough, candidates were lining up to take questions from people young enough to be casting the first ballots of their lives.
It's completely bipartisan. We tried to pull in moderators that lean both ways, and it's really just a great place for young voters who hopefully are inspired to vote in this election to be able to speak to their current or future representatives and get a better understanding of who's going to be on their ballot and who they should vote for in November.
Essentially, we recognize this lack of communication across the aisle amongst a lot of local candidates. And also in the era of COVID, there's not a lot of opportunities for candidates to be public facing with voters. And so those kind of two objectives coalesced into the motivation for us forming this organization, where we could get people harnessing the power of social media to be front-facing with candidates and directly engaging with them using a live stream format and live produced questions, and also to allow the candidates to engage with one another.
I think traditionally, students and voters our age are typically not very engaged. But I think on both sides of the aisle, people are frustrated all across the board. And I think that this year, because of social media, just because of the publicity that everything has gotten, the accessibility that we all have at our fingertips, voters are seeing that there's so much more than just blue or red on the ballot.
Candidates who've attended the forums include those campaigning for 12th District State Representative, Chelan County Commissioner, and even Washington Secretary of State.
No one has refused us out of principle. Like, nobody is not willing to engage with their constituents. It's all just been a matter of timing and crunched agendas. It's a really busy time. I think that in general, they've been really positive in their reception of the work we're doing, and they want to engage with young people and listen to them. And a couple of them have asked us actually to send them questions that young people have and given us responses back.
You can view all NCW Young Voters past forums on their Facebook or YouTube pages. And on October 19th, log in for their next roundtable, a Spanish language outreach for NCW's Latinx community. Jefferson Robbins, NCWLIFE.
All right, time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. It's the weekend, and boy, it's not going to be as nice as last weekend. We'll tell you more about that in a second, but what a great day once again today. This week, wasn't it just spectacular? High temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s. Yesterday, by the way, we did tie that record high from 1988 at 79 degrees. Didn't get quite that warm today. We did see some high and mid-level clouds out there as we looked down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Sky-Fi tower camera. That's on Wenatchee Heights, but temperatures today still very mild. Unofficially 73 degrees, and that's still above normal of 65 now. Our low this morning was 56. 44 is where we should be. 79 our record high on this date, and that was back in 2014. Record low 30. Do you remember it? Last year in 2019. No new precipitation. That will change when we talk again on Monday. Sunrise 7:12, and the sun will set tonight at 6:23. Let's take a look at what we can expect as we kick that weekend into gear on Saturday. A lot of it out of school today in the Eastmont School District. Hope you had a chance to enjoy the day today. Tomorrow's highs, we'll see a big cool down. In fact, temperatures will mainly be in the mid-60. Moses Lake, one of the warmer spots at 66. Wenatchee will see 63. Leavenworth 60, and up in Omak, which will be the warm spot tomorrow, should top off at 67, but it's going to be a wet and windy one as we start our weekend tomorrow. Let's take a look now what we're seeing as far as Hurricane Delta. We've talked about it a little bit yesterday. Here's the current situation. It's just off the Louisiana coast. That has changed now. It has gone down to a Category 2 and winds right now 105 miles an hour, but a foot of rain is still possible as this thing makes landfall right around Lake Charles, Louisiana, Houston, Texas, right in the bullseye as well. This is the third storm now that's moved in there in the last 6 weeks. Back here at home, we're going to see some rain too, but not like that. 70% chance of rain after midnight, and you can see right along the Cascades is where we're going to see the heaviest rain. That'll start overnight. We'll see some rain as we wake up for Saturday, and then as this thing comes busting into North Central Washington, we'll see some wind ahead of that too. Not bad here in Wenatchee, but a little bit windier over in the Columbia Basin. And then Saturday, that's our wet day. You can see it all across Washington and Oregon, an 80% chance of rain Saturday. That goes down to a 50% chance of rain showers on Sunday with mostly cloudy skies. It will be cool too. Sunday high temperatures barely making it to 60 degrees. Spokane probably about 56, 57 for a high on Sunday. By Monday, a little bit of a break. Partly cloudy skies. Still not ruling out an isolated shower. We still have plenty of instability off the coast, so just some isolated showers. But as this thing moves inland, that'll go up to a 40% chance of rain showers as we get into next Tuesday. Temperatures, and it will be windy as well. Look at this. All across the Pacific Northwest and the Intermountain West, we're going to see a lot of wind and rain showers, as we mentioned, about a 40% chance. Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, isolated showers, high pressure right now off the coast, or by that time off the coast, will be in control of our weather, and that will stabilize things somewhat, especially as we get into the end of our forecast on Thursday. By then, mostly sunny, dry with seasonal temps. We're talking highs on Thursday, once again in the lower to mid 60s. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast, and tonight we'll drop down to 55, but look at that cool down. 63 tomorrow, rain likely and breezy. 61 for Sunday, a 50% chance of rain, and then some sprinkles Monday before our chance of rain goes up once again on Tuesday. Temperatures will stay pretty consistent between 60 and 65 as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, with partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Hope, oxygen to your soul, color in your world, a light to your future.
Difficult to qualify and quantify,
yet you know when it's lacking.
So many things have promised us hope,
but have left us feeling hopeless and empty.
Real hope is able to stand firm even on the darkest day of the soul, and still say with the prophet Jeremiah,
"For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you.
Plans to give you a hope and a future."
The Apostle Paul declared to a young church in Rome,
May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace,
as you trust in him,
so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit.
If our God is a God of hope, then maybe it's your turn to experience a hope that cannot be shaken
Nor destroyed.
And maybe it's time to hope again.
Maybe it's time to become a generation of hope.
What if the same God that raised Christ Jesus from the dead
And resurrect your hope.
Maybe it's time to hope again.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Friday to you. The Dodgers advanced to its fourth NLCS in 5 years with a 12-3 win over San Diego and a sweep of the Padres. Jock Peterson's two-run single highlighted a 5-run third inning as Los Angeles left little doubt that it would move on past the National League Divisional Series. Will Smith went 5 for 6 in the game with 3 RBIs, while Cody Bellinger also drove in 3 runs as the Dodgers remain unbeaten in the postseason this year. Los Angeles will face Atlanta in the National League Conference Championship after the Braves swept the Marlins with Thursday's 7-0 win. Dansby Swanson continued with a hot bat, going 2 for 3 with a run and 2 RBIs. He hit 400 in the series. Kyle Wright worked 6 innings of 3-hit shutout ball on the mound for the win. Game 1 of the NLCS will be on Monday on Fox. Time has yet to be determined. There will be a Game 5 between the Yankees and Rays after New York stayed alive with a 5-1 win over Tampa Bay Thursday. New York starter Jordan Montgomery pitched 4 innings of 1-run ball. Chad Green, Zach Britton, and Aroldis Chapman shut the door from there to force a Game 5. Luke Voigt and Gleyber Torres did damage at the plate, each hitting a home run. The decisive Game 5 is on TBS. Houston awaits the winner of the Yankees and Rays in the American League Championship Series after the Astros beat Oakland Thursday 11-6. Carlos Correa's 3-run home run in a 5-run fourth inning spelled the difference for Houston. The Astros reached the ALCS for the 4th consecutive season. Game 1 of that series will be Sunday on TBS. Well, the Seahawks continue preparations for their Week 5 opponent Sunday with the Minnesota Vikings coming to town. Seattle's off to a 4-0 start while the Vikings have struggled at 1-3. Seahawks defense will have its hands full with the NFL's leading rusher in Dalvin Cook. The Minnesota running back has 424 yards and 6 touchdowns. Linebacker Bobby Wagner says Cook is hard to bring down.
But now you just have to bring your feet. He's a guy who's going to continue to run his feet on contact. And so I think that's the reason why he's, breaking so many tackles, is because guys are hitting him and stopping, and he's keep going. And so, it's definitely fun to watch, watch him run the ball. And so it's going to be, fun to play against him, get in the backfield and really just tackle him. So I think it's just, being disciplined on your tackling plan and making sure you drive your feet and not let him keep going.
Cook leads the league with broken tackles at 21. Seattle coach Pete Carroll says the Vikings use Cook in many ways to take advantage of his talent.
He's really explosive. He's got great speed. He's not the fastest running back in the league, but he plays like it. He's such a quick accelerator that the whole field is available to him on any play. He can wind up on a play that starts wide to the right, all the way going out the back door. He's done that multiple times, and if he's running an inside play, it could wind up being an outside play in either direction. He's very creative and very explosive, and obviously looks like he's in great shape and really fit and ready to handle it. And they can throw the ball to him, and he's really dangerous in the open field. So he's an excellent football player. They create the balance that an offense can have by having him in the backfield, and it's a real good part of their game. It's really helping their play-action game too.
The biggest reason Seattle's off to a 4-0 start has been the play of Russell Wilson and the Seahawks offense. Wilson says he thinks it's the best he's seen in his 9 years.
I think we're playing on the highest level we've ever played. I think, in terms of what Shadi's calling, he's doing a great job of mixing it up and challenging the defenses and everything else. But then also, on top of that, our playmakers, our players that we have, just the versatility at all positions, at the receiver position, tight ends, running backs, everybody all together. It's been special. We've had some good ones before, for sure, too. And so, I think that guys like DK and Tyler, they're as good as it gets, and guys like Doug Baldwin in the past, he was pretty amazing. Kurtz made some clutch plays for us, too. But then I think as we think about the clutch players that we've had over our time, obviously Marshawn, we've had some great players, for sure before. But I think the collective group that we have too as well is really great. And I think also too, the amount of work and studying and everything that we've put into it. What you put into is what you can get out of it, and I think that's what we've done.
Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer says the biggest thing he's seeing from the play of Russell Wilson is his ability to see the field.
but he's just playing with a lot of decisiveness. And I've always said it this way, Tim, I think when you watch a quarterback, everybody watches the ball and they see where it's going, but watch the quarterback's footwork, watch his back foot at setup, and you can kind of always see how well they're seeing the game. If you see his back foot hit and the ball come out, or you see his back foot hit and maybe take a hitch or a reset and the ball come out quick, that means he's seeing things well. When you see quarterbacks back, then they kind of start shaking their feet a little bit and they're like, oh man, that means they're not seeing things very well. If you go watch Russ, he's getting that ball in his hand fast because he's seeing things well. He's got a great feel for what teams are doing to us, and he's working progressions. And when he does that, he's really dangerous.
Seattle and Minnesota kick off Sunday night football on NBC at CenturyLink Field at 5:20. Here's what we have on the NCWLIFE schedule this weekend. It begins tonight with high school football when the Wenatchee Panthers take on the Davis Pirates. Grant and I will have your play-by-play at 6:30. Wenatchee and Eastmont meet in Big 9 girls soccer Saturday afternoon at 2. Then at 7, it's our first ever broadcast of racing at WVSO from last June. Sunday is Wild with a double feature of Wenatchee Wild games. First at 2, it's Wenatchee and Merritt. Then at 7, it's the Wild and the Penticton V's. Have a safe and sane weekend. I'm Eric Grandstrom with Sports. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And as we leave you tonight, when the new season of the reality TV show Real Wives of Orange County premieres next Wednesday, it will have a new cast member who happens to be a 1993 Wenatchee High School graduate. Elizabeth Lynn Vargas joins the drama-filled show, which is the original of the Housewives franchise.
I went to dinner with Bronwyn and her friend Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth Vargas is kind of fun. Woo!
Jimmy and I have a very intimate relationship. We just don't have sex.
What?
I know, it's so weird.
Vargas grew up in Monitor and now lives in Newport Beach, California. Her brother, Wenatchee resident Andrew Vargas, said he also had a chance to be part of the show.
She's extremely positive, outgoing, and it's been interesting. I ended up being on the show quite a bit to help her out because it's a family-based show, and it's been a very fun experience. A little bit weird, a little bit crazy because I live in Wenatchee, and I'm not supposed to be on TV, but I ended up on TV. But that's what my sister's life is like.
Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan.
Thank you very much, Grant. I hope everybody has a good and safe weekend. I hope you stay dry tonight and Saturday morning. Of course, Monday is Columbus Day, and in honor of Columbus Day, of course, we won't be doing a show. It is a holiday, so there'll be no Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Hold tight, I'm being told in my earpiece, we will be doing a show. We will be doing a show on Monday. I was just corrected by Megan, my producer. So I guess I'll have to come up with something. But I got the weekend to do it. I guess we'll see you Monday morning at 7 o'clock for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
I have confidence in you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.
Hi, my name is Blaine Johnson. I'm at Global Elite Motors. We're tied in with Global Car Care down here locally. So we're not your typical car buying experience. Somebody can come down here, take a look at what we have, and if we have the right vehicle for you, we'd be glad to help you out with it. A lot of times we are able to go out and find specific vehicles for somebody so that it fits their needs, their budget, and all the things that you want without you being obligated right away. If you're looking for a good, reliable car, come see me, Blaine Johnson, down at Global Elite Motors.
In the heart of the Wenatchee Valley lies a unique Ford and Lincoln dealership. This is Pat Armstrong Ford Lincoln, home of the lifetime warranty. Pat Armstrong Ford's mission is to exceed your expectations by taking pride in making your car buying experience as comfortable and timely as possible. This mission is consistent in every department, including parts, service, and sales. We are community strong and community safe in East Wenatchee.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCWLIFE channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.